Let's see. I hope all is well. Let's see if the caption comes on. Let's see. I'm trying to see how I can put the caption on. I don't know if you can see the caption on. Let me see. Hmm. Caption. I'm trying to locate the caption. Where can I put the caption? Hmm. Let's see. Okay. Okay. When you have a lot going on, sometimes overwhelming can be misinterpreted as did I say overwhelming? Overwhelming could sometimes be misinterpreted as a misunderstanding. And what is currently going on is I am trying to force myself to move in a fast pace, and there's no need to do so. And it's like I'm seeing this image of a waste of time, but I'm not going to accept that. And the reason why I'm not going to accept a waste of time is because preparation is important when you prepare. So, what is deemed as irrelevant or unnecessary, you then will understand when you do modify in the future, when it's to come, your preparation has more value and appreciation than just quickly modifying self or a situation, people, places, or things. One thing about being a reader is one has to prepare themselves to understand when to decipher from self, spirit, energy, people, places, or things, higher self, shadow energy, manipulation. It is a huge responsibility. I first want to say thank you, Collective Earth, Air, Fire, and Water Signs, for being patient. For those of you who have noticed my absence, and that is because a break needed to take place. And it wasn't a break where I just woke up one day and said, hey, I'm going to take a break. This break actually was forced. Okay. And it was very hard for me to accept the break. Within the break that I had taken, I will share with you, I was able to release, I was able to get things out. I was also able to be a rebel, kind of really tap into things that, I took a break from, and I spent time with myself. And in this time of spending time with myself, I was able to understand why certain things were taking place, personally, academically, professionally, and understanding the messages that were coming through in regards to the collective. And I will say this, it was not a time or moment that didn't pass by where I wanted to press live. And it was forbidden for me to do so because I was not in the proper place or mindset to do so. So now that we are back active, we are going to take a look at some messages and see what comes through, and then we will go from there. I haven't really decided on what deck I wanted to use yet. Um, but I will say this, when it comes to understanding how to prepare self for unexpected changes or unexpected experiences, I want to take a look at that collective because um, it's by grace that I didn't get lost in an unexpected um, shift that had taken place this past couple days. And I'm very glad that, you know, I'm grounded and I was able to understand what was happening. The beginning stage of what was going on with me personally is like I had to get it all out. It's kind of like writing in a journal, right? How you feel and what's currently going on because you're unable to express or confide into someone, so you confide into your own space and manifestation and your personal experience that's between you and self and divine and nature, because paper is made out of wood. They're nature elements. So I had to get it out. And the way that I had to get it out, you know, I didn't condemn myself. And I'm very proud of myself that I did. I There was a moment where I had to remind myself that I was an adult. And in that experience, I learned that sometimes once you get the program of resolving your personal issues independently, the strength that is created, it creates a dominant. So, with that being said, for those of you who have strong presence about yourself, don't feel ashamed about that presence. Don't shun from that present. Embrace it and get to the root of why you have that strong present. The root that I got, that I received, the more stronger that I get, the more dominant that I become. And I know that that could be intimidating. I'm sweet as a button until you press the button, right? But now that I'm able to identify the dominance, now I can embrace my feminine energy to serve me and not to serve anything outside of me that does not understand why I am trying to present my feminine energy. So, what I'm going to take a look at is the collective when it comes down to needing to understand the process of preparing. And layman terms is when someone is going through something unexpected, something that is out of your control, how do you prepare yourself to persevere through the challenge or through an unexpected experience? And we're going to take a look at how you can prepare so that you can be able to persevere through whatever change or unexpected experience that occurs. All right. What we have up in the air is Warrior of Change. And the fact that Warrior is up in the air, for those of you who are new, hi, I am SGL Spiritual Guide and Light, and welcome. Make sure that you subscribe so that you can be a part of the success and growth of the channel. For those of you who have returned, welcome back. May you find the clarity, confirmation, and understanding that you seek or need. And so when the cards come out horizontal, that means it's up in the air. So for those of you who are like, where is she getting this up in the air? That's where that comes from. So since this Warrior of Change is coming up in the air, okay, the first thing that is tapped in is the courage and the bravery. Okay, there's two different pathways. You have the pathway of bravery and you have the pathway of courage. And there has nothing to do with anything being cowardly. There's no Leo energy here, but there is fire energy here. It says, you charge forward, fueled with passion and conviction. Your bravery inspires movements in others. Lead with heart and fierce and focus. So the fact that this is up in the air, this is like the first antidote, the first prescription that you would intake are for the most part your PRN, your to go to when you need at a needed basis. So this is your first, let's just say, vitamin instead of prescription. Well, vitamins can be prescribed, but this is your prescription, a warrior of change. And in order for that to take place when it comes to preparedness for the unexpected, and to be prepared for experiences that are out of your control, you first must be able and willingly either taking the pathway of bravery through this change or the pathway of courage through this change. If you're wanting to merge the two and going down a straight, narrow path, this warrior energy is definitely intimidating. It's very dominating. It's you taking the reins in life and saying that I am going to persevere despite of what leads through this journey. And you hold the reins, so you are the instructor, okay, of moving forward. And the most part that is overlooked is the responsibility over others. the warrior of change, you also have responsibilities over others that you are to lead. So, with the preparedness, as you preparing yourself to be the pillar in your life. Okay. You have balancing and currents here. I love this. This is nice. Um, and the reason why I love this is because when oneself is going through an experience of preparedness, um, not everyone gets it the first go round when it comes to navigating your power and the energy that you possess. For the most part, most are not even able to recognize the energies that are surrounding you, hovering you, manipulating you, infiltrating you. Um, for some of you, it is going through the dark soul of the night. Others of you, it is a transformation. Some of you, it's a transition. Um, for the most part, change. Let's just keep it simple. When oneself has to go through a change, you know, when something is different, it could become complicated because change. So, with this balancing of currents, water energy is about the matters of the heart, emotions, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. It says you feel pulled in different energetic directions. True integration is not choosing sides, it's finding harmony between them. Breathe in the tension. And so, with this balancing of currents, this is far beyond learning thyself. Okay, learning thyself is all elements earth, air, fire, and water. This is specifically focused on the cup energy, the chalice. And this water energy is your water energy. And you see how there's these two orbs. I want to call them orbs, okay? Orbs of energy, being able to move forward and in this bank of water that is at a standstill because there's no water current going forward or backwards, but it is murky and clear. There's also the copper energy coming from the sky, but there's these two orbs, and what happens with the electricity and water, and it just there's a lot going on here. And so when it comes to preparedness, because I don't want the collective to get lost here. When it comes to preparedness, you know, it's like the test is, can you walk through your own emotions in carrying these two orbs, right? And these two orbs can represent your responsibilities. It could be a person, it could be, a dominance, it could be you fill in the blank of two things that is your main focus, that is constantly on an ongoing basis where you're having to shift, you're having to make decisions. Sometimes it's not easy, sometimes it's burden, sometimes it's stressful, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's low, sometimes it's just, you know what, it is what it is. And this is where the warrior begins to take place from the preparedness. And so some of you in the collective are going to take the pathway of bravery, okay, of change. And some of you will take the pathway of courage through change. And a majority of you would take the pathway that is straightforward, that merges bravery and courage. And so, again, everyone's not going to get it the first go around. Yeah, it's like you have to start all over again. But eventually, you get it. You learn how to balance your emotions and to control and to tell the waters to be still. and well as maintaining your own energy without allowing it to be contaminated or put out. What you don't see, soul spark, and first step. So, what I love about this is the confirmation of, you may not get it the first time go around. Okay. The first step is about starting the pathway, right? But not turning around. It's just where you meet, you just keep going and you just start all over again. But for others of you, this soul spark, this is that confirmation of these spears, which is so, it's kind of like when it goes dark, you then will learn how to bring light back into the situation or within self. So, with this soul spark, it says you feel a faint stirring deep inside, a new spark ready to ignite. This is your soul remembering its original intentions. Nurture this small flame, it holds immense potential. And the first step is taking care of yourself. You know, you must keep your energy lit. It's no difference from um, when they say it's not best to fill someone else's cup if your cup is empty. So it is not best to ignite someone's flame if your flame is not ignited. So with preparedness, not only collective are you going to have survival skills for self, you will also have the know-hows to navigate when advisory is needed of you. When it comes to this first step, it says you are not at the beginning of a new journey of action. The first step holds the power to change everything. Take it boldly, even if you feel unsure. Let's go ahead and pull your angel guide message. Before I do that, I want to pull a word of advice. Word of advice for this spread, please. Abundance and guilt. For some of you, I'm just going to be honest, you are not ready to begin the pathway of bravery. You are not ready to begin the pathway of courage. Some of you will not be ready to merge in the two because it's just too much. And the fact that you are becoming aware, that is the first step. Awareness is the first step. So do not be hard on yourself, okay? When it comes to this guilt energy, the advice that is given is that everyone is a work in progress. And when you take accountability of your progress and what you need to recover from, anything outside of self, and I'm not talking about the manipulation or feeling obligated or, this is just the way life is and this is what I have to put myself to the side. There is no excuses. Everyone has one life to live, and you have the right to live your life. I'm not talking about the person who's enslaved somewhere and in chains and in bondage. I am talking to the collective who are free, and by choice, you choose bondage. Okay, whether that's within self or in the predicament that you are in. And it could be very simple. It could be family. You choose to take on responsibilities that are not yours because you're loving and you're compassionate. And some days it's good, some days it's bad, some days it could be worry. Why am I giving you guys the lyrics to my song? And some days could just, be a low and some days it could be a high. But for the most part, You've taken the reins of responsibilities that are not yours instead of taking the reins of taking responsibilities of self. Okay. There's nothing wrong with assisting, there's nothing wrong with helping, but when it becomes a job that's not yours, then that's where the burden, that's where guilt begins to be fed, where then you create bondage where it's hard to free yourself. um so whoever you are, I appreciate your kindness, because we live in a time where kindness is weakness. Compassion is not accredited. Being nice is not no longer valid. And so I commend you, because there's only a few lights that has the ignite fire that burns those energies. And so you will be rewarded for that. But moving forward with this table of abundance here, when it comes to your bag, when it comes to um, what is it, financial stability, uh, you can't blame anyone if things doesn't pan out the way it's supposed to. So take charge into responsibilities that can be uncomfortable with the change. You know, some of you, it's not the fact that you can't do the job, it's the fact that you are not wanting the responsibility that comes with it. Meaning you have to independently take charge. And it's not for one day, it is on an ongoing basis. You don't get to take a break for being in control of this type of responsibility when it comes to abundance. And don't allow anyone to guilt trip you into believing that you are not deserving to be in control. Okay? Angel guide message. I was like, why am I channeling a fool in love? A Fool in Love is a song that I wrote. It hasn't came out yet. I don't think it's gonna come out until like summertime. You have compassion here. All right, your angel guide message. Your angel guides want you to be prepared to serve compassion. And for the most part, you're first serving yourself with it. It's not pitying yourself. I want to make that very clear. We don't serve pity, okay? We serve compassion. So don't misconstrue the two. Um, even though pity is in the definition of compassion. Um, compassion. Okay. Your angel guide message, viewer. It says changing how you see yourself will help you change how others see you. Angels are surrounding you at this time and encouraging you to see yourself through their loving and holy eyes. All of the ups and downs you face, all of the insecurities you have overcome, and all of the setbacks you have moved beyond are a testament to your resilience and strength. So have compassion and respect for yourself. Angel wisdom is encouraging you to love and treat yourself the way you would love to be loved and treated by others. Then your own actions will be mirrored back to you by those around you. So seek your angel guide to help you be more compassionate towards yourself now. So you're preparing to serve yourself compassion so that you will be prepared to serve others compassion as well. Those are the messages that came out for you in this session. I will go live again. I don't know what exact time. I'm not going to go right back to back, because this definitely was a lot. Moving forward, don't forget love is kind, and don't forget that love is gentle. Until we meet again.